So the server components that we ship in our package consist of 3 native C++ applications. And the components are designed in a way to fit in a wide variety of workflows and platforms. So what does this mean? This means that we don't make any assumptions about what environment you're using or what frameworks you're using. Basically, all of those key terms that we talked about, we don't require or make any assumptions about any of them. So the result of that is that the system is easy to work with, and it's also able to meet the requirements of complex applications. So no matter how you set up your system, we can fit into that. That's the key takeaway, without you having to modify your own environment. So we're going to take a quick look at the package now, and I'm just going to go through these folders and talk about what's in them. Okay. So in the bin folder, what we have is all of the binary files that make up the server portion. Now, the ones we want to note here are the SC server app and the server.exe. And the server.exe is a process that will start on your system, and this will be responsible for creating every instance of SC server app, which is going to actually be doing streaming. So the workflow is when the user wants to view a model, they're going to communicate with server.exe, which is running as a service on your server, and you will tell server.exe, okay, I need to allocate an SC server app. It will spawn that application for you and point it to the correct resource that it needs to stream to the client. Then the client will end up connecting directly to the SC server app to facilitate that two-way streaming. Other things in here are just dependent DLLs that these applications depend on. So in the integration samples, what we have here are 3 different libraries that we've created to make working with server.exe a little more manageable. Okay, so if I open up this solution in Visual Studio, what I can see is we have a number of classes that make working with the server a little easier. So for example, here we have enumerations for what type of session you would like, either a client-side rendering or a server-side rendering. And then we have this class for service request, where you can set different parameters, such as the service class, the search directories, the model name, etc. And by using this class in conjunction with our service broker class, which will actually make these requests for you, we will handle all of the serialization and deserialization of that data and make working with an existing C# application much easier, so you don't have to create all those requests yourself. Now, it's the same concept for the Java and the .NET, Java and JavaScript examples. They all have the same interface, and the documentation will have the full complete class listing. But these are just handy to have if you are working in these particular languages. So the final thing to look at here is the settings builder. Now the settings builder is a Python script that we provide out of the package that will make configuring the system a little bit easier for you. So depending on your network setup, you may need to specify certain parameters in terms of what the URLs that come back from server.exe look like. And this application makes that easy to do. So if we just start up this application, we can see here it gives us a menu of different modes. We're going to talk about each one of these modes in detail a little bit later, but you can select what mode you want to run in, and it will ask you some questions and generate a config file. Now, one thing to note about this application is it can be run in a non-interactive mode. So depending on your needs, you can just invoke it with certain parameters, and it will grab information that you use from the system, combine that with those parameters, and create a settings file for you. So this is just handy to have for configuration.